Welcome to your latest update on the Iraqi Dinar and global currency developments. If you're looking for the most recent and in-depth news, exclusive insights, and trusted information about the anticipated currency revaluations that are reshaping global financial dynamics, you're in the right place. Today's update is not just another rumor. It's official. The Vietnamese Dong revaluation has been confirmed. This is the moment many have been waiting for. No more speculation. This is real, and the financial world is already feeling the effects. For months, there have been whispers, leaks, and hints from insiders suggesting that Vietnam was preparing for a massive monetary shift. Now that moment has arrived. The Vietnamese government, with the backing of major global financial institutions, has taken definitive action to revalue the VND, aligning its exchange rate with the nation's true economic performance. Economists, analysts, and international observers have been closely monitoring Vietnam for this very reason, and now the world's attention is locked in on Southeast Asia. The Vietnamese Dong has long been considered an undervalued currency. Decades of international restrictions, political factors, and a lingering post-war economic system kept its value artificially low. However, that narrative no longer fits the Vietnam of today. In the last several years, Vietnam has experienced a silent but powerful transformation. It has evolved from an agrarian, war-impacted nation into one of the fastest-growing, technology-driven economies in the region. Its export sector has exploded, especially in electronics and textiles, and it has become a manufacturing alternative to China for many multinational corporations. This shift has brought in billions in foreign investment and created a more modern, resilient, and globally integrated economy. The revaluation of the VND didn't happen overnight, and it didn't happen in the dark. A confidential document reportedly circulated among regional banks outlined that a final decision had been made to adjust the Vietnamese Dong's official rate. Though the document wasn't initially made public, multiple independent sources close to global financial organizations confirmed its authenticity. At the same time, the State Bank of Vietnam made quiet but major preparations, adjusting interest rates, tightening foreign exchange regulations, and overseeing a noticeable spike in international VND trading activity. Commercial banks within Vietnam began updating their internal systems, and a leaked email from a high-ranking executive revealed that staff had been instructed to prepare for a currency rate adjustment within 48 hours. This message alone sent ripples through financial institutions globally. Forex traders, investors, and currency holders all responded immediately, and the anticipation is building fast. So what does this mean for people holding Vietnamese Dong? Everything. If you're holding VND, whether it's 1 million or 100 million, this development puts you on the brink of a potential financial breakthrough. Let's break it down. At the current exchange rate of about 23,500 VND per US dollar, 10 million VND is worth just under $450 USD. However, if the revalued rate hits just 50 cents per VND, a conservative figure based on circulating rumors, that same amount would be worth a staggering $5 million USD. The exact post-revaluation rate remains classified, but estimates suggest anywhere from 47 cents to $1.50 per VND. This move is not just about increasing value. It reflects the growing economic power of Vietnam. Over the past decade, Vietnam has signed on to a number of progressive trade agreements, including the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, CPTPP. These deals have solidified the country's international standing, attracting more investment and diversifying its export markets. As companies relocate operations from China to Vietnam due to favorable trade policies and rising labor and infrastructure capacities, the country's GDP has grown significantly. Vietnam's monetary reserves are also on the rise, which has strengthened its ability to make such a bold currency move. Behind the scenes, the International Monetary Fund, World Bank, and G20 finance ministers have all been involved in private meetings to discuss Vietnam's role in the new monetary landscape. The VND has consistently appeared on short lists of currencies considered undervalued and ready for recalibration as part of a wider realignment of global exchange systems. Now that the revaluation has started to take shape, global reactions are swift. Demand for VND has spiked, not just among traditional currency investors, but also in the digital finance world. Crypto traders have started to speculate on VND-backed stablecoins, creating an intersection between traditional fiat money and blockchain-based financial systems. Within Vietnam, queues have formed at currency exchange offices. Citizens are rushing to convert their foreign holdings back into VND, hoping to benefit from the currency's rising value. Banks are quietly raising deposit limits for VND and adjusting internal exchange rate systems. Even the price of gold, often used as a hedge in volatile markets, has dipped slightly as attention shifts toward Vietnam's new position in the currency market. Some Forex trading platforms have already begun to reflect the shift. While not all have made public updates, several mid-sized brokers have adjusted their VND conversion rates based on insider expectations, indicating that the transition is already underway, even if it's not officially announced across the board. Experts are advising anyone trading in foreign currency apps or Forex investment platforms to monitor the VND-USD pair closely over the next 24 to 72 hours. The revaluation could fully roll out without warning, and the timing to act could be crucial. In the United States, major financial institutions such as Wells Fargo and Bank of America have reportedly updated their internal foreign exchange desks with new provisional rates for VND. In some cases, customers have leaked images showing adjusted rates briefly appearing on internal systems, possibly a deliberate soft rollout or a testing error, but clearly a signal that things are moving behind the scenes. To ensure a smooth transition and avoid public confusion, the Vietnamese government has launched a national awareness campaign. This initiative is focused on educating the public about the revaluation's significance, how to legally exchange currency, and how to recognize and avoid scams. Social media in Vietnam is buzzing with questions and speculation, from "Will I be taxed on this?" to "Where should I exchange my currency to get the best rate?" The Ministry of Finance is already working to address these concerns with updated guidelines and tools for both domestic and international holders of the VND. Outside Vietnam, the buzz is spreading. Vietnamese communities across the US, Canada, Europe, and Australia are organizing workshops and webinars to prepare their members for what could be a once-in-a-generation financial opportunity. Major digital banking platforms like Wise, PayPal, and Revolut are also reportedly updating their systems to accommodate what could be a flood of international VND transactions. This is more than just a change in exchange rate. It's a socio-economic transformation. A stronger Vietnamese Dong increases consumer trust, boosts the nation's global purchasing power, and helps Vietnamese e-commerce businesses expand internationally. The revaluation could also lead to new bilateral trade agreements and reshape the region's economic alliances. Vietnam's assertiveness may cause ripple effects throughout Southeast Asia, possibly inspiring other nations like Laos, Cambodia, or even the Philippines to revisit their own monetary strategies. For the Vietnamese people and those who have held onto the Dong for years, this is a moment of financial liberation. After decades of undervaluation, the world is finally acknowledging the true strength of the VND. This revaluation represents not just a correction, but a reset. Vietnam has taken the lead, and the world is watching closely. Stay alert, stay informed, and prepare accordingly. This is the financial revolution of the decade, and it's only just beginning.